Where do I even begin? I believe I shared with you what happened on my last ketamine treatment. Today's Friday, by the way. I didn't do anything but lay in bed all day. Taking Ativan. How many I took, I don't even remember. Last night I didn't sleep. I mean, I'm still tired. And all day I didn't sleep. Like, I just lay in bed. I mean, I maybe fall asleep for 5 minutes. I just wake back up. It's like an extreme quick nap. Let me tell you what's going on. Am I starting to look older? Maybe it's my hair color, but to me, I'm just look wore out. So let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you. Let me turn on this light. So, when I got my treatment yesterday, I had some insight, and I put that on my Patreon, and you can watch it. Then the doctor started asking me questions. If you already seen this part, skip ahead a little bit. If you haven't, then, because I know I mentioned this the other day, but I'm just going to mention it again. Just fast forward a little bit. So, I had some insight coming down off the treatment. When the doctor asked me questions to make sure that I can get up and not fall over, like questions like, am I real? Is this room real? To get it like perspective before they allow me to get up so I don't fall over and hurt myself. By the, I think it was the third question, I just started crying. And I went like, just, I started crying. And I like threw a fit, a mental breakdown. And I was like, I called my boyfriend's name. I said, I want my boyfriend's name. I want my boyfriend's name. Where is he? Where? And I started saying, where is he? Where is he? I want to hold him. I want to hold him. And it just felt like this just darkness just like started just eating me up right here. And I don't want to get too much into it, but when I finally calmed down, and that medicine, that ketamine triggered all this. It's been like messing with my mind. I honestly think it's making me worse. I just felt like since yesterday, I just felt like this, like I felt like a whole bunch of people that I love just died. My dog just died. Like, I've already had a broken heart. This is like a broken heart with like intense just despair. Like, it's just, and then all day I've been having the air conditioner on cold, which with my arthritis I normally have to have it on 82, and I'm sweating. Like, I'm just laying in bed sweating, and I stink. Believe it or not, I did go to the gym yesterday, and it was hard for me. It was hard for me after going through that, like in the evening though. So no one can say that I'm not trying to push myself. In the gym, I was just spacey. Like it's not, I mean, I finally did work out, but I just like was just staring into the abyss. Like I'm surprised someone didn't come up to me and say, you look like a lost puppy dog. Do you need help with something? This one girl kind of looked at me kind of funny because she thought I was staring at her, I guess. But then when she moved, I was still staring the same direction. I was staring like at a piece of the equipment that she was on. I could see that she moved away, and I'm just still staring at it. I guess she realized I have a staring problem, which maybe I do. On top of all that, since these treatments ain't working, which is spervata, ketamine, which is not the full ketamine, like I said before, there is a bigger city that does them, and that place is under 50 miles. I believe it's 46 or 44 miles. It's under 50. So I called the rideshare program to see, hey, would you even take me through my Met insurance? And they're like, yeah, that's 57.8 miles. I was like, it's actually 47.8, I think. It's under 50. And they're like, no, it's 57.8. I'm like, maybe you're reading it wrong. They're like, well, our computer, we have to go by our computer. If it's over 50 miles, we can't take you. The crazy thing is, every time I get in those vehicles, those rideshare vehicles, those people that drive those vehicles tell me that they take people to their appointments and treatments all over Texas. Like, to Houston, to Dallas, like 4, 5, 6 hours. This one guy was like, we had to take this lady 5 hours and then I guess she'd spend the night in a hotel, and the next day we had to pick her up on her second treatment, coming home in the evening. But they said, well, you need to contact your insurance, your members benefits. So I contact members benefits, so she connects me over to authorization. And Shaniqua was the lady's name that was so nice, and was like fighting for me. When they connected over to prior authorization, they're like, oh, well, they need to call MedLift. And she's like, he doesn't have MedLift. She's like, yeah, they do. And she's like, no, he doesn't. He has, I think it's called RideX or something like that. So they're arguing back and forth. They don't even know what program it's under. And I'm like, is there anyone I can call? They both said, no. Like, you don't do that. We do that. And I'm like, okay, fine. So, to no avail. So, again, I'm not getting the treatment that I need. My depression, the anxiety has gotten better because I'm popping Ativan all day. But I got to get back on my pain pills. Well, again, I said, the pain doctor will not allow me to be on my pain meds if I'm on benzodiazepines. Ativan is a benzodiazepine. So come the 29th, before the 29th, I got to cut my Ativan, which means my anxiety is going to go back up again. Well, isn't the Zoloft supposed to help that? Yeah, Zoloft is an antidepressant that helps depression and anxiety. I've been on it over a month. Does it look like it's helping? No. They test me every time I go to the doctor. They ask me these questions. My depression is off the charts. Still having diarrhea. Still having these crazy things where I don't want to leave the house at all. I'm scared to leave the house. But then I push myself to go to the gym, which I don't want to go to the gym. But then when I'm in the gym, I don't want to come home. And I stay until closing. And then I go into the car. And I just sit in the car and I just start crying. For like a long time. Like a good hour. Is all this just me? Or is a lot of this the effects of the medicine? Probably both. Probably both. You know? And then the psychiatrist, he wants to give me EKG so he can put me on this old whatever type of antidepressant, but it may cause all kinds of side effects with your heart and stuff. But he wouldn't tell me the name of it. Or he did, but I forgot. And when I said, what's the name of it again? He was like, well, don't worry about that. Because he knows I'll look that shit up. Yeah, I'll look that shit up because I care about my health. I haven't been on this Zoloft that long. You know, my primary doctor said it may take 6 to 8 weeks. And I started with such a low dose anyway. Does it seem to be making me worse than it helping? Yeah. But with antidepressants, a lot of times they make you worse before they make you better. So I'm just going to quit this now and then do another one that's going to make me worse before it makes me better. And let me guess, y'all going to quit me that too early. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, well, the reason why I do that is because I think this medicine's giving you diarrhea. I'm like, sir, the diarrhea, I believe, is from the anxiety. I was like, I was on this medicine for a whole week with no loose stool. Then when I found out I was going to maybe possibly lose my house and my taxes are high, that's when the diarrhea kicked in. That's when the diarrhea kicked in. Or it could be both. Maybe that's when the diarrhea kicked in, and then they went up on my Zoloft, which just further added to that. But I took a fucking Ambien last night, and I took an Ativan last night, and I slept probably 3.5 hours, 4. And if you take me off both of them, well, I won't sleep at all. I will buy back to the same thing, 20 minutes to an hour a night. I'm surprised I'm even coherent to talk. And when I've been in the gym, do you know how many times the workers, when I go there, when I leave there, and they'll actually come up to me and they'll be like, "Sir, are you okay?" Like with sincerity. The one guy that's really nice, he actually pulled me aside and said, "Listen, with HEPA rights, I don't want to ask personal questions, but if you want to share with me, that's up to you, if you feel comfortable, because I'm just concerned about you." I said, "Well, what it meant to make?" He was like, "Well, it looks like you haven't been sleeping." He was like, "And I noticed that you look like you're going to fall over." He's like, "Is there anything medical that we should know about, that you want to share?" He mentioned the HEPA rights. He's like, "But that's only if you want to. I'm not asking you to tell me your medical. I'm just saying if you would like to share it because we're concerned. Or is there certain medicine that you have that we can get to or whatever?" This has already happened at the gym. Because they're concerned. They're really nice down there at that gym. Especially that guy and a couple others. And then the rest are just, they're not rude. But the ones that keep coming up to me and saying, "Are you okay?" They're the really nice ones. And last night, I was so out of it, I tossed my keys in the trash can. I just threw them in the trash can. And I didn't think I had a paper towel. I had my phone in my hand, I took my keys out of my wallet, I looked at my keys, and I threw them in the trash can. And then I just looked at my phone, I looked up, I'm like, "Why did you just do that?" I didn't have a paper towel in my hand. So it's when you don't sleep, you do things like that. You do things like that. I'm not even getting the real ketamine. Ketamine has the K and the S molecule. Spervata, they throw away the K, they keep the S, and it's patented. So, from what I understand, they put something in there to make it their own. Is it an addictive property? Is it something that's going to cause long-term side effects? Because it seems kind of odd to me that they said after your first treatment, or for sure by your third treatment, you're going to notice a huge difference. Huge difference. And now after 6 treatments, they're saying, well, we have a lot of patients, they don't have an effect until 6 or 7 months later after 30 or 40 treatments. I'm like, whatever happened to the first 1, 2, or 3? I can go to Austin, Texas, which in my small town, again, it's an hour away, and get a ketamine infusion, and the first infusion, 90% effectively rate. My depression, gone. Doesn't last forever. But it's enough to get myself out of this dark tunnel and work with what I have. When you're in a dark tunnel, you can't work with shit, because you don't see all the shit around you. But it pulls you out of that dark tunnel, and it makes you happy enough to where you realize and see, oh, I never was in the dark tunnel, and this is the wonderful world. And then you can work on going forward and helping yourself. It's hard to help yourself when you're in a tunnel in the ground. But again, will my insurance pay for it? And will I get a ride? I can't drive there. It's not that I'm lazy. I could drive there, but then I'd have to leave my car there. The fact is, they don't want you doing other. They don't. Like, for example, I could drive there as long as I have someone in the car, but then they would have to drive me home. The main point is they will not allow you to leave that clinic unless they know that the person driving that car is not you. And if they let it slide, which they're not going to, they could get sued. Especially this, because this is even stronger. The stupid nose spray is a 2 hour. It's over and out, like, less. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. It already starts wearing off. No, this shit lasts for 3 hours, and your ass is stumbling and falling after 3 hours because they give you the good shit and they give you a strong amount. There's some errands I gotta run that I didn't do today. I could put them off a little bit longer. But like I said, it's getting to the point where, like, I don't want to leave the house. Like, you call it agoraphobia. I don't know what you want to call it. Like, I don't want to leave the house. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to be here either. But then at the same time, I don't know where I want to be. But then when I'm at the gym, I don't want to leave the gym. And then when I try to go home, I say, okay, well, if you don't want to go home, go ride somewhere. Go to a restaurant. Go here. Go there. I feel stuck. Well, I can't go anywhere. And I'm in my car and I can't drive. I can move my body, but I can't move. Like my car. And I just start breaking down and crying. My appetite's getting better because the Ativan is making the anxiety less, which allows my stomach to heal. So I'm actually getting hunger pains here and there. But the depression, it seems to be getting worse. And I'm taking the spervata up the nose, ketamine, 6 times already, twice a week. And I'm taking the Zoloft. I started at a low milligram, and they keep slowly every couple of weeks or whatever. Right now I'm on 50 milligrams. And as far as erections are concerned, because those drugs can, I'm not going to go there with that. I'll share that on my Patreon on what that's going on. It might not be what you think it is, but then again, it may not be that either. If you want to see, though, an insight of what happened when I was coming off Spervata, and I just started talking to the thing, that's still on my Patreon. When the police was called on me, because I was taking pictures of little girls, that video is also on my Patreon. When I leave the link below the video, there may be many links. So just make sure you look for the one that says, I think it's either going to say Patreon, or it'll open up many links with all my accounts. And I think it'll say support me. And then that's my Patreon. And I don't know if I have $1 a month Patreon. Maybe I should. I think it starts at $5. Maybe I should just do $1 a month Patreon. Because there is a lot of like videos that I either will share on here in the future that right now I'm sharing on Patreon, or that will never share on YouTube, that's going to only be shared on Patreon. Like personal things that I don't think the whole YouTube world should be able to watch. And I should give to those that are supporting me. It's like you're willing to support me, at least I can do is give you something back. Like something, like instead of, oh, I don't know, this soap right here, I can't like send it to you. So digital what? Some personal stuff. Because I've shared a lot on this channel, but there's a lot of personal stuff. Still a lot that I would probably not ever share. Maybe in a book. But those people would have to pass first before I say the things that they have done. Yeah. Because I fear those people if I said what they had done to me. Yeah. I had a crazy life. It's like I'm sitting here sweating. I don't know if you can tell. And it's like really cold in my house. Doesn't make any sense. Till next time, please support me. And right now, like I said before, money is not going to food at all. It's all going to save my home, to get an attorney. And if somehow, some way I can get legal help, then I'll take that money and either buy food with it or buy a computer so that I can make these videos better, or maybe get a microphone. So if I ever start traveling and eating, then I'll have a microphone. But it's not going to go toward me, like not buying no clothes, or it'll either go toward getting a lawyer to save my home, food for the channel, a better camera, which I don't think I need, a microphone so that you can hear me if I'm out and about talking about food, or a computer, or instead of a computer, an iPhone, because that would be an upgrade, and then the editing I could do on an iPhone. Yeah, so just so you know where your money's going for support. Anyway, it's Friday. I hope y'all have a beautiful weekend and stay safe. Enjoy life. If you're young, enjoy life now. Don't wait till you're my age. And keep your mental health in check. You ever get depressed, don't let it spiral down. Not that you can control that from happening, but you can try.